Good morning.
She started as a PA on Grey's Anatomy, followed by becoming a fellow in the Disney ABC writing program. She also was a writer, co-executive producer on the Emmy-nominated Little Fires Everywhere for Hulu. Yes. Prior to that, she was a writer, producer on Scandal, baby!
Event number 2. Spend your Mondays with Monet. It's Monet Mondays. Welcome back. Good morning. It's giving struggle bus. I'm already like 30 minutes late. I thought it started at 9:30, but it started at 9. It's an all-day thing though, so it should be fine.
So they wanted to offer me a second, which is under the second. And I was like, I'm already working as a second. If you can give me the second AD, great. If not, I'll stay on read between the lines as a second. And I say that to say, if I didn't take those 2 low budget opportunities, do you think I would have got offered that key second? No, because I wouldn't have had no experience. So sometimes you do have to take the low budget opportunities to get offered that. And I stayed with Tyler Perry for about 11 years. The last film I did was Jazzman, blues, as a second, and as a key second, and Medea Homecoming. But it was all because I took that low budget job.
I'm thinking about a recent situation where someone was placed on one episode, a 1 hour, and they were paid a great rate. However, to join the DDA would have taken their entire paycheck. So some of the benefits of AWD are community, being able to advance your career, and I don't want to say it because it's not lower level, but we have icon members who are directors that come on, and people that you can shadow, people that will also vouch for you. We have different relationships with sister organizations, and we have fellowship programs. There are a number of things, but basically it's helping to make your career just much more robust. To some people, they come to LA and they'll say, AWD this is wonderful because I'm meeting so many other people in the industry and I don't have any relationships. And I think back to when I started, I wish that something like that existed, but it didn't.
Amazing. So I'm sorry to cut us short, but you're gonna have plenty more time for questions because we had a jam-packed day today.
Can we do it like a semicircle?
Okay. You make it more intimate.
Yes, that's great. I love this.
This amazing fireside chat with this brilliant woman that you will meet and experience, and we're all sharing space with her. We're sharing space together, which is fantastic. I love the fact that we all come from all walks of life. There are producers in here, there are writers, there are actors, there are visionaries, there are people who just want to be in the room with amazing people of color. And that's who we are. They're mothers, their daughters, their sisters, their nieces, all of the great things. I am Rashan Ali. I am an Atlanta native, born in Atlanta, raised in Decatur, so I get the best of both worlds. Multimedia personality, actor, philanthropist, all the things. I'm a slasher. Just look at my resume, it's long. I've done a lot of things, but one of the things that I'm most grateful to God for God to have given me the gift of is interviewing people and being able to get the best out of every person that I interview. And I know that that is God's gift, really given to me. And each and every one of us has a gift. And I hope that you are tapping into your gifts today. She is the creator, showrunner, executive producer for Onyx Collector's first scripted drama series, Reasonable Doubt. Sexy show! Baby, it's so sexy. In conjunction with ABC Signature, it's a hit drama. It's currently in production on season 2, shooting here in Atlanta for this season. She signed her first overall deal with ABC Signature in 2018, has been in a Disney family since 2009, where she started as a PA on Grey's Anatomy, followed by becoming a fellow in the Disney ABC writing program. She also was a writer, co-executive producer on the Emmy-nominated Little Fires Everywhere for Hulu. Yes. Prior to that, she was a writer-producer on Scandal, baby! Where she penned 11 episodes for the series, including the 7th season crossover episode with How to Get Away with the Murder.
Wow.
Yes, baby. We are in the presence of royalty. Oh, I'm gonna, listen, I uplift black women. You understand me? You gonna feel like a queen out here. When people read my resume, I'm like, oh, stop, that's too much. How do you feel when you hear your resume?
I mean, it's amazing. I think like anyone, when you first start out in this business, you know, I remember getting coffee and lunch for people and wanting to, you know, be in this industry. So then to go, oh my goodness, hear it, go, wow, it has been 12 years of doing this, and yeah, it's pretty incredible. I mean, a lot of it though, I will say, yes, you know, it's important to be talented and know what you're doing, but a lot of it is luck. You know, I have friends who, you know, have been on many shows that didn't keep going, didn't succeed, so then they weren't able to, you know, get promoted, you know, within the show. So, I mean, Scandal, even though it obviously was a great hit and it was on for 7 years and I was there from the beginning, you know, in the beginning with those 7 episodes, it wasn't looking good.
Really?
Yeah, like it was, I was a researcher season 1 and I fact-checked the pilot and it was like, oh, Kerry Washington, Columbus Shore, all the people. I was like, oh my God, this show's gonna be amazing. And, you know, they put it on in April and it was only 7 episodes. And we were trying to find our audience, and the actors really, they started tweeting. I was when kind of live tweeting started, and they just really pushed the show. And then at some point, then Gabrielle Union tweeted about it, and then it was trending, and then it was Oprah tweeting. I mean, it just, the show exploded in a crazy way, but it wasn't this hit right away. So let's say something, I mean, that would have been completely not in my control if ABC said, you know, we're good. 1 season, goodbye. Yeah. You know, who knows what the trajectory of my career could have been. So, you know, you have to, I say you control the things you can control, and then anything else you know, let God do.
Yeah. When you got into that world, was it like, oh my God, this is where I'm supposed to be?
Yeah, it was, I mean, there, when I went to USC, it was just a really special experience, but I will say it wasn't until I was on Grey's Anatomy, I started on season 6 as a PA, and I've been a fan of Shonda's. Of course, there's no other black female showrunner that I knew of. And, you know, when I got the job, I really downplayed how big a fan I was, because I don't want them to think I was crazy. I don't be like, oh my God. And so I remember I was bringing in groceries, and Patrick Dempsey came in from set in his whole, like, dreamy outfit. And he was like, he walked in, and he's like, is Shonda here? I was like, what? It was like the television, he had like come out of my television into the real world. And then that day we had a table read, and I just, look, when Ellen Pompeo was doing the voiceover, you know, and all the actors in there, I just was like, oh, like this is where I want to be. This is so exciting, and you know, just seeing the process of the writers. I felt like finally maybe there was somewhere where all these hours my mom told me I'm watching too much TV maybe pay off.
So then you look back on it, it's like, you know, life is like this puzzle, right? Where we have this puzzle, we have all these pieces and we put them together and like, oh, okay, this one matches, this one matches. It seems like everything was like literally leading up to this moment, but did you even recognize it then?
No, because I didn't, I feel like you just end up kind of doing what you have to do.
Yeah.
And, I didn't have the luxury to take an unpaid internship and, kind of live in the clouds. I needed money. I needed to pay my rent. So I would, even though I had the PA job, I still would babysit on the weekends.
I'm sorry, what you say?
I would babysit on the weekends, even though I had a full-time job, because I needed to pay my rent and to stay in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And so if I wanted to do this, I knew I had to make sacrifices.
Yeah. So what was the transition from when you're working on grades and then you get this opportunity to be in a program and then you end up writing 11 episodes on Scandal? Like, can you take us through that process and what's that like and what that was like for you?
Yeah, so I was a researcher first season, and then we did the first season. It was only 7 episodes, so the job ended like in October. So when it found out it was 7 episodes, all of us, I thought, Shonda by then she had Grey's Anatomy was, I think, season 7. Private Practice was season 3. So for sure we all were like, oh, it's going to be a full season pickup, and it wasn't, which is a whole other story. It's an interest. I'll just say it's interesting how much success you have to prove yourself as a Black woman versus as anything else. So this woman had 2 giant hit shows on the network, and still they weren't sure if Scandal would work. Anyway, so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna have a job in October. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do. And so I applied to the Disney program. It was one of the only paid writing programs because I had to do something that was paid. And so I applied and went through the whole process, and luckily I got in. And the day before we got paid, I was in the program for a week, and I was with my other 8 fellows, and we went to lunch, and I had $6.
Wow.
And I had to ask one of the fellows if I could borrow $20. Didn't really know him that well. I was like, hey, can I just hold $20 right quick? Because I knew we were getting it was going to direct deposit the next day, so it would be good. But I just say, like, you never know how it's going to work out. But I was like, I hope this works out.
Yeah.
And so it just lined up that way. But yeah, I'm sure everyone in this room knows, like, sometimes you just get real close to those moments, and you want to give up, and you think, like, what am I doing? And I went to an Ivy League school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So coming out, I had friends. I was making in a year what some of these people made their bonus. And so it was even harder in some ways for me because I really had to push forward. I remember I went to Barnes & Noble, and the kid I had a class with, his book was, as soon as I walked in, his book was in the front, paperback favorites or something. So it was a challenge to really push, to really have to sacrifice, to live in that 4th floor New York walk-up, and decide, kind of decide that this is what I want to do, and try to pursue arts in some way. So I really do think that it's hard. You have people around you who say, oh, why don't you do this or that, and I think if you really want to either be actor, director, producer, whatever it is, you just have to keep that hustle up.
And after that, how did Reasonable Doubt come into fruition? I mean, obviously you were able to write for Kerry Washington on Scandal, and now does she come to you with this idea, Larry Wilmore? Like, tell me about that process and how we got to where we are now.
Yeah, so I actually, I've worked on 3 projects with Kerry.
Okay.
I worked, she brought me on to Little Fires.
Okay.
Scandal. And then she and Larry Wilmore had this idea about Rashan Ali.
Rashan Ali,
yeah, this amazing Black female attorney. And they were like, we want to do, kind of a show about her. Tamara Gregory actually works, because she's in the back there. She runs Larry Wilmer's company, works on the producer on the show as well. And they didn't exactly know the take or whatever. So what happens is that I came in with a take, and my take was that one thing I had never really seen on television was this idea that as Black female professionals code switching.
And all about it.
Yeah, and I always felt like code switching was kind of seen like one version is fake and one version is authentic. And I never felt that way. I felt one is appropriate in one setting,
Right.
and not appropriate in another setting. It depends on the setting. And I was like, I would love to see a woman who can walk in a courtroom, quote legal briefs, you know, be a badass attorney, but get at home and, you know what I mean?
Yes!
You know, and it's not seen like one is bad and one is not, or one is like, okay, well, she's ghetto or whatever it is. And I said this in another interview before, like, I feel like, you know, we're either Michelle Obama or Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Like, we can't.
But we both, though.
We can't be both. We can't be both. And why is that? And what happens is that then it creates this idea of one woman is good, one woman is bad.
Right.
And that's kind of what you saw what happened with Megan, you know, and all the stuff. They're like, oh, well, she's ghetto, she twerks, she becomes a villain. And it's not like, no, she is an entrepreneur. She is a talented woman who is, you know, uplifted, you know, in her music, other people. So it's like, why can't everyone, like, and I have so many friends, and we are both. I have very successful friends who, you know, we get together and mayhem.
Tonight,
you know? It's mayhem. It's knowing these words, you know, rap songs, all this stuff, hip hop. So, I wanted to show that, and I wanted to show it authentically. I wanted to promote Black love in the show. I want the show is, you know, I wanted to see Black female sisterhood, female friends, and it's not just Black females, but on these shows a lot of times when it's starring a woman, she got like one friend, like her coworker or her sister, and that's all that's the only person she talked to. And I'm saying, what kind of person is this?
Yeah.
And so for me, I was like, no, I want to see, she has a group of friends. Like, I have childhood friends. A lot of friends in the show are based on my friends. I have friends since I've been 6. I have friends since high school, you know, so, and those are that's what keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
And so that's what I wanted to see. So I took the idea of Sean Holly, what she does and how she interprets the law, which is very specific and very unique and very brilliant. And then I kind of added kind of more the personal element.
Is for the actors who are new in their TV and film career, especially like in the post-pandemic world. By the time we get to a set, a lot of times we book from tape, not even having met the casting director, the writers, or anything. So especially if we're coming in, like I said, early stage career, and we're doing like a one-day co-star, how can we, because the set's moving so fast, you don't want to like stop someone in the workflow. How can we network?
Yeah, I believe in networking laterally, you know, like if there's other people, other co-stars that you're in that scene with, if there are stand-ins even, you know, networking with them, and because those are the people that you're gonna be around, even like some of the AD, PA people, because everyone, just because whatever their job is on set, that might not be their job, that might, like what they wanna do with their career. So sometimes, I mean, I've had, you know, PAs talk about, oh, a few of us got together and, you know, did a short over the weekend, and it's like, oh, it's the props person. That's, you know, so they network, you know, on their level too, and that's what I did in my career. A lot of people, a bunch of us were assistants kind of together, and then we all rose together and helped each other out that way. So yeah, I would definitely try to, you know, do that. And honestly, you know, I say about co-stars when people come on the show is like, you know, just be professional, you know, do a great job, you know, be prepared. Because I see Donna's there, who's on the show. And yeah, and just come in and, you know, just do a great job. Because you never know, it might be one day and then it might turn into, you know, something else. And you never know what other shows people are working on.
Can't ball in my life, man. Go on with it. Do us. So we are coming here with a force. Yeah. Blessing the army, no voice in our. When the rise up to us. Yeah, we give thanks that we need it the most. We have to give thanks that we really supposed to be thankful. Blessing Blessings all coming like fun. But thank God for the journey, the earnings, that's to the plus. Yeah. Gratitude is a must. Yeah. Blessings fall by my right hand. What's a toast to the friends that they come to me one time. It's don't be enough. I guess you wonder where I've been.
Oh my God, y'all. I just met a person who watched my YouTube.
Yo, my name is Jeff. I am starstruck. I'm about to ask her for her autograph.
Please stop. No, but that was so cool.
My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Another minute later, you love I do. I came back to let you
Bit
know.
number 2. Okay.
You want me to take a picture of your phone as well?
Thank you.
Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find.
I didn't know you had on heels.
You didn't think like, oh, she's a lot taller than normal.
No, I always feel taller than you anyway. Nice and cozy. Hi.
Cheers, cheers.
What you want to do for love? You tried everything, but you won't give up. And in my world, only you make me do when I would not. Now my friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a day when you love me, see. Now I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't.
Hey y'all, the notes look a little different today. I ain't have time to get cute. But I just want y'all to know that this vlog was really special to me because I really enjoyed those events. Raamla Mohamed and Rashan Ali, like I wish I could have shown you all the entire interview, but I felt like that would have been reaching because people, you know, we all paid for that event and it's just not cool. It's like you can get a taste, but you can't get the full thing. But their interview was so good, just hearing Raamla's story. And then I got to talk to her mom afterwards a little bit. We just kind of like, I don't know how we like kind of mingled, but her mom was just telling me some of the stories about how she got her start and like how difficult it was for her when she first started. And it was inspiration. And then seeing Rashan Ali, how she interviewed her, it felt so intimate. And I should have known when they said, let's make this a semi-circle, I should have known it was gonna get real, like intimate and real, and it really did. I felt like I was a fly on the wall on like one of their coffee table conversations. Like it was so good. We did get to ask questions at the end. I didn't post that stuff. I didn't want the vlog to get too long either, but I just want y'all to know, like, if you're out there and you're pursuing your dreams like me, we can do it. Like, these are people who have done it. They started from the bottom, and now look at them. I just thought another thing about Raamla, I don't know if y'all watch Scandal, but that crossover episode with Viola Davis and Kerry Washington when they were in the beauty shop, like Raamla wrote that. Like she was in the writer's room, like she was head lead, you know? So that just was so cool for me. And like Rashan Ali said in the beginning, we were, you know, in the presence of royalty, period. Both of them, like just icons. What else do I have to say? Y'all, I'm working on my vlogs. They will get better with time. The Actors Empowerment Summit. So what happened was we had multiple events that day. We had signed up for 2 things, not realizing which days they were. So we had 2 events. So we chose to stay for the Black Women Film Network panels instead of going or leaving early and going to the Actors Empowerment Summit. But it all worked out because we made it to the after festivities and a little bit of the panel. So it worked out, and we were able to like speak with the casting directors and things like that. It was really cool. It was nice to literally get in front of casting directors and talk to them, show your face, and, you know, introduce yourself, which is what I did. What other notes do I have? Sometimes you just got to do everything in one day. And it was a good time. Had a good time. If you're wondering if you should be out there networking, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, yes, you should. Do something, do anything to get in your field. And like Rashan Ali was saying, like, it's all a puzzle and all the pieces fit and we don't feel like it, but they definitely fit and it will all work together and that puzzle is just gonna be beautiful. So continue to finish out puzzles and we can do this. Love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
What you won't do for love, you tried it.